President Trump is acting like an international gangster, threatening to trample over the sovereignty of an ally, threatening the end of NATO altogether, and now threatening to hit our country and 7 European allies with outrageous, damaging tariffs unless he gets his hands on Greenland. This is an incredibly grave moment for the United Kingdom, Europe, and our world. Without provocation or justification, the President of the United States is attacking our economy, our livelihoods, and our national security. Trump has put British businesses and jobs on the front line in his unprovoked aggression. The only people cheering him on are Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping. Only a few months ago, Trump hailed the special relationship at Windsor Castle. Now, thanks to his actions, it is nearly in tatters. So how do we stop Trump's damaging trade war? For a year now, Madam Deputy Speaker, the Prime Minister has tried a policy of appeasing Trump, flattering him, fawning over him, refusing to stand up to him, because, he argued, otherwise Trump would hit us with damaging tariffs. Well, the Prime Minister has tested his approach to destruction. It has failed. It is time for the government to change course. We have to finally be clear-eyed about the sort of man Trump is and treat him accordingly. He is a bully. He thinks he can grab whatever he wants using force if necessary. And he is corrupt. The most corrupt president the United States has ever seen. So there are only 2 ways of getting him to back down: bribing him with a new jet perhaps, or a few billion in his crypto account, or standing up to him like we would with any other bully. Standing together with our European allies to make him back down. That's the choice. Which one, Foreign Secretary?
Shalom, shalom, all praise be to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash, the bonus to the elders and apostles of great Most Ruel. Shalom to the elect. Yeah, America is a bellicose. Yeah, as you heard the man say, America is a bully, man. As you can see in Google, recent bellicose actions and rhetoric, January 2026, there's the Greenland crisis. President Trump has intensified demands to acquire Greenland, a self-governing territory of Denmark, utilizing bellicose rhetoric and threatening to use excessive strength and force to secure it. This has been described as gangster-like whims and neo-colonialism, threats to NATO allies. Trump has warned that NATO is only as strong as the US and has used threats of tariffs against European countries that oppose his attempts to acquire Greenland. Okay. Military action in Venezuela following the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro by US forces. The US has signaled a willingness to use military means to run the country and fix its oil infrastructure. Bellicose rhetoric towards Iran. Reports indicate the White House has discussed military strikes in Iran, with the president using locked and loaded language. And you can go on and on. NATO tension. And where does this come from? See, the elders and apostles of Great Most have been telling you this through the Spirit, based on biblical prophecy, about the beast in Revelation, with the horns representing different nations within EU and NATO, that has given power to Babylon the Great America. Yeah, and eventually there's going to come a stage where the European nations within NATO and the allies are going to turn against Babylon the Great America, man, which is in the Bible. Yeah, and you're hearing the rumors of war before your face. Okay. But first, at the start of the bully, this is Jeremiah 50 and 23. It says, "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken?" The hammer of the whole earth. Yeah. This is the new Babylon. NLT to the right is talking about Babylon. Yeah. And America the Great is New Babylon, Mystery Babylon in Revelation. Yeah, because if you know the history, the Babylonians got taken down. Okay. That empire fell. But guess what? America comes in the same spirit of Babylon as well, with the witchcraft and stuff like that. And also, you know, it was also a symbol of power, an empire with power. Yeah, so it says it calls them the hammer. America is the hammer. Yeah, America's got um extraordinary military power and might, man. They've got over 700 military bases worldwide. They invest almost $1 trillion into the military department. Okay, so they are the hammer. They're the ones. That's why they're so proud and arrogant to hammer these other nations down, to bully these nations, to put sanctions, threat with tariffs, doing uh, coups, CIA dark operations, raging war with people. They're the hammer of the whole earth, cut asunder and broken. Yeah, they're depleting now. You're seeing the spiraling down of America. Yeah, other nations, weaker nations, are starting to withdraw from America. America is losing its currency, is losing its financial power. Yeah, they're getting desperate. Yeah, they're acting like a cornered rat. Hmm? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Yeah, which is eventually, when you read Revelation 18, this is Revelation 17. Revelation 17:16, it says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore." Yeah, those 10 horns represent kings of nations, yeah, the European nations. "These shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." In other words, what? They're going to shoot their nuclear missiles towards America, man, as a retaliation and resentment. Why? Because Babylon the Great, America, and the small hats, are dragging them to war and compromising their 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 benefits and deals with other allies in the world. Okay. For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill His will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the word of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest in that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Yeah, Babylon the Great, because guess what? The European nations is the one that um, has given power to Babylon the Great, America. Okay, that's who they look up to. Even America itself, its inception of how it came was through European nations, man. Then warring, ending with the brawl of the British Empire. Okay. But that's it, man. Tells you there that they're gonna hate. Yeah. The 10 horns, the European nations are gonna hate the whole, which is America. Yeah. Yeah, and it's Esau going against Esau, Satan against Satan. Mark 3:24 says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an end. So we are witnessing the end of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, starting with the elites. Their empire is facing a collapse, man. That's why the European nations are complaining, even though they're all demons, devils. They're all corrupt. But Babylon the Great, America, is more, boisterous and showing their horns. But anyways, with that, all praise be to Yahweh, Bashim Shai, Bashim Kakadash, the bonus, the elders and apostles, great Musa, Ruel, Shalom to the elect.